So yeah, Tears for Fears. First time talking about them. So hello and yes, welcome back to another video, guys. Now it's time for an album review, and that's right, we're doing Tears for Fears, The Hurting today. First time I'm talking about Tears for Fears. They're a personal favourite band of mine from the 80s. They captured that 80s sound really great, and they represent the 80s sound and a lot of the 80s bands that were about back then pretty well, I think. So I really wanted to start talking about them, so I thought, why not? Let's start with their first album. Before we get started, this is probably going to be the last album review for a while, guys. And I'm saying that because my new Apple Mac comes back next week. For those of you who didn't watch my my latest vlog, where me and my mates went to see Avengers: Infinity War. Yeah, my Apple Mac, I've sent it off to have a bit of work done, so I wanted to make sure it was all perfect, 'cause it's an expensive laptop. So I'm just getting a few more things installed on it, virus protectors and whatnot. But so that comes back early this week. And I still haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do the album ranking board on it yet. And how I'm going to recreate these thumbnails and stuff that I've been using for my album reviews. So it's probably going to take me a couple of weeks to get that all back. So there won't be an album review for a couple of weeks probably now, guys. But the videos are still going to continue here on the channel, don't worry. The videos are still going to keep coming fresh and fast, hopefully. Just the album reviews are going to be put off for probably a week or two. That's it. I normally do an album review a week. Probably going to take 2 weeks off. Probably. But you never know, I might find something really quick, it might all run really smooth, and they might be back next week, so time will only tell. But anyway, let's make the most of this. Tears for Fears, The Hurting, yeah. So in this review, I'm going to give you a bit of information on the album. We're going to go over each track individually, mark each track individually out of 10. I'm going to show you my copy of the vinyl record. We're going to mark the artwork for this album out of 10. Then we're going to add up all the scores given, so 10 tracks plus the 11th score for the artwork, divided by the total number of scores given, 11, and that's going to give us an overall marking for this album out of 10. But we won't be done there, because then we're going to head over to the album ranking board, put it on there, and see where it ranks compared to other albums I've reviewed here on this channel. So anyway, Tears for Fears, The Hurting. Let's get started. So yes, this was their first album, released on the 7th of March, 1983. Hit number 1 in the UK, didn't do nowhere near as good in the US, only hit number 73. It had 3 top 5 singles: Mad World, Change, and Pole Shelter. Sorry, I couldn't read my handwriting. I was like, it's not Pole Shaker. I know that. That's weird. No, Pale Shaker, Shelter, Pale Shelter. If I can get my words out. I mean, I should know. I mean, I've listened to this album about 100 times, and I've got all the tracks here. But I'm reading my notes, and I can't read my own handwriting. Looks like it says Pole Shaker, which is, if you think about it, something very, very weird. But Mad World, of course, being the biggest of those 3 songs, you still hear it today on car radios. You hear it quite a lot. I've heard it in shops and stuff. You know, when you're walking about the shops and they've got their little radio on, you hear it there. I've heard it in a club before, even in cheese rooms. So it's still a very popular song. So anyway, a little bit of background on, of course, Roland. Oh, I've got to try and say his surname now. I have heard people say it, so I should be alright pronouncing it, but I bet I butcher it still. Orzabal, I think that's how I say it, Orzabal. And Kurt Smith. I can say Kurt Smith, that's an easy one. So a little bit of background on them. In the 70s, they were in a band called The Graduate, which generally wasn't doing anything, it wasn't going anywhere. So they left The Graduate, and they recorded some demos. I believe the songs they did was Suffer the Children and Mad World. I think they're the 2 songs they done demos for. So yeah, they took it to this record label, they liked it, and they got a contract, and they've done this album. So yeah, produced by Chris Hughes and Ross Callum as well. They signed on to do this project, which was fantastic. And they're great producers. I've got a couple records that they've done, and they have a really great, especially in the 80s, had a great sound. Fantastic producers. So they actually done very well for themselves, leaving The Graduate. They left, they come on here. The demos, I haven't heard the demos, but I heard they're very good for demos, because not all demos are that great, let's face it. I'm going to touch on the lyrics now and not focus on the lyrics too much when we go over each song, because this album has this style to it where a lot of the songs do sound kind of fun and upbeat with this 80s style, and it's a very enjoyable album. Lyrically, though, half the songs on here are not like that. They're very deep, dark, almost depressing as well. A lot of it talks about child abuse, stuff like that. Homelessness as well is kind of hinted at on certain tracks. So yeah, the lyrics on this album are something else. So it's not an album that you can go into if you want to study the lyrics, if you want to be one of those Lamb Lies Down on Broadway type things where you really want to get into this album. Because you can do that with this album. You can do it. It's just not quite what you'd expect, considering the tone of the album in terms of the instruments and the music is very different. It sounds very uplifting and very upbeat at times. Not the reality of the lyrics, though. But anyway, we'll get started now. We'll talk about the songs themselves here. So there's 10 tracks, and it opens up with the title track, The Hurting, which opens the album really well, I think. It has a great guitar technique on it. The blending of the vocals between Roland and Kurt are really good. It's one of the only times they do it on this album, and it's fantastic. And I love the slower parts of the song, where the acoustic guitar and keyboard kind of play off each other. And I think that's when this album shines the most, because on a few other songs it does it, where it just focuses on the acoustic and the keyboards playing off each other, and it works really well. It sounds really cool. So yeah, I'm going to give this song a 7 out of 10. Then we move on to Mad World, which of course, incredible song. Classic song. Roland says actually he wrote this song when he was living above a pizza place, fun fact. So yeah, I'm not sure where it was he's living. Somewhere beginning with a B, I believe. He was living above a pizza restaurant, and yeah, he used to look out of his window, and that's how he wrote this song, just looking at all the people walking by. Which I can relate to. When I used to work at Tesco's, I used to work in a little click and collect service hut. People used to just pull up and I put their shopping in their car. I kind of used to sit there staring out across the car park all the time. You see some very strange people walking about, so yeah, I can see how he wrote some of the lyrics in that scenario. But anyway, the lyrics are great. The styling is awesome. The production is awesome. The vocals are really good. The piano sounds really good. The chorus is so damn catchy. Everything about this song works. There's nothing about this song which I don't like. So I am going to give this song a 10 out of 10. Then we get on to Pale Shelter. Got it in one that time. See that? I'm improving already. So it starts off really slow, but it just builds quick and well. It's just basically a keyboard thing at the start, but it's kind of cool. It sounds like something you'd almost hear in a film, and it builds really well, and then whoosh, thrusted into the song. It's fantastic. And it turns into a really fun sounding 80s song. Again, not lyrically, but love the simple acoustic that kind of structures the song. It's almost working as almost a bass at times. It's like the song is kind of built around it, and it sounds really cool. Although the acoustic does fade out when they hit the chorus, but it's really cool. And speaking of bass guitar work, the bass work is quite good in this song. There's some songs where the bass really stands out, and we'll get to them ones. But yeah, I really like this song. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. And then we get a song called Ideas as Opiates. Opiates, I think that's how they say it. Opiates. Again, they say this in the song. I should know how to pronounce this, but anyway, I'm useless. So very interesting start with a very weird drum and piano thing going on, which you don't expect at all. You wouldn't expect them two to be playing off each other, but they do. It's very weird. And I like the sound of the drums, I really do, but they go on a bit in this song. I was kind of hoping that they do something that Suffer the Children do. And there's another song that does it, Old Memories Fade, where it's like kind of the first verse kind of starts off with this slow build to it, slow structure to it, and then it builds really quick as it goes into the next chorus. But this song doesn't do that. It kind of keeps this drum beat throughout the whole thing, and it sounds really cool, but by the end of the song you are glad it's over, unfortunately. But I love the vocals, how they start quiet. They do what I wanted the song itself to do. They start off quiet and then they build, and then the vocals get better and they get louder and whatnot. But the song doesn't pay off, I think, the way I want it to. and it gets a tad messy around the middle where really there should have been a guitar solo, but I think they chuck a sax solo in there or something like that. And it gets a bit messy, it gets a bit weird. Not even the producers could hold that together very well. It's an okay song, it's fine to listen to, but I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. And then we get Memories Fade, which is the closing track for side 1, only 5 songs to each side. So there's a slow keyboard start to it with these amazing vocals over the top, the incredible vocals. They sound awesome. And then the rest of the instruments kick in, on first chorus or second verse, whatever, which is exactly what I wanted the last track to do. But anyway, this song does it, and it works really well. So yeah, love the chorus, fantastic. The vocals are amazing. I'll give this song an 8 out of 10, really good. So moving on to side 2, we got Suffer the Children. And I love the keyboard that opens up side 2. It's incredible work, fantastic. I love it so much. And again, awesome vocals over the top, incredible. This song really reminds me of Memories Fade. I really don't think these are good songs to have back to back because they are structured really similar and kind of feel similar. So I would have moved Memories Fade probably around with ideas as opiates. It's best I don't mention that song again. Because I wouldn't move Suffer the Children because it opens up side 2 so well. But yeah, as I say, it is similar in terms of structure and whatnot. But it's a really fun song. The chorus is awesome. It's a good song still if it comes on the radio. Because it does occasionally, this song. This was kind of like the second big single, I believe. Maybe third after Change. But yeah, it's a really good song. Really good. So I'm going to give it an 8. And then we get a track called Watch Me Bleed, lovely title, which is a bit more of a rocking song. The guitars have more of a presence here, which is good because I love a bit of guitar work. That's my favourite stuff. And of course, this very synth keyboard type album, which, works fantastically. But yeah, I like this song. It's a bit more rocking, really good. The vocals are really good, but again, I kind of find this one a bit forgettable. No, I don't mean that in a bad way, because it's still a really good song. It's just all the other songs on here are so good. This one kind of gets lost a little bit. I'm going to give it a 7, though. It's still a really good song. And again, if it come on out of blue on my playlist or something, I'd love it. It's great. Then we get the song Change, which is a very unique song. The keyboards and bass are awesome. I especially want to point out the bass. The bass guitar work on this song is incredible. The chorus is awesome and very catchy. And I think catchy is the best way to describe this song. It is very catchy. And it's serious and interesting in the verses as well. It's like the verses are very, very straightforward, serious. The lyrics are quite dark if you listen. It does a lot of cool things. It goes into a lot of cool things, and then it picks up in the chorus, which again isn't meant to be like this, but it is quite catchy and quite fun. It's which is why I love this song. It kind of gives off a lot of different emotions. It's hard to do that in a song, and it works really well. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And then we get a song called The Prisoner, which is pretty much an instrumental, kind of. Very strange song. A lot of different things being tried out here, which I respect. Due to what the song is about, it's meant to sound creepy and scary and almost depressing as well at times. And this song handles all of that really well. And I have a lot of respect for this song for what it does. However, do I want to listen to it much? No, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. I think that's pretty harsh. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just being honest. I mean, I wouldn't really want to go listen to it again. I respect it for what it is. It was very interesting to listen to when I first heard it. I can't lie. I always skip it whenever I play this album. I did listen to it again in preparation for reviewing this album, and again, I found it interesting to listen to. But it's just not a song that, you can enjoy, really. I mean, some people enjoy it, I'm sure, but I personally don't. I have a lot of respect for it, though. Even though I'm being critical of it, I do have a lot of respect for it. So, and then Start of the Breakdown is our closing track of the album, side 2. And it pulls it back, really, I think. I think The Prisoner, it's a good thing it wasn't last track. And it's quite short as well, I want to add The Prisoner. It's not too long. So you kind of just suffer through that one, then boom, we're back into the album with this one. Goes out as a more traditional Tears for Fears song, or traditional to what its album is, because of course Tears for Fears' first album, they weren't hugely known at the time. Has great keyboard and bass guitar work. Again, bass guitar work especially shining here. I love the vocals on this song. I'm going to give this song a 7 out of 10. So yes, there we go. There's all the songs. That didn't take too long. It's only 10 tracks. I was going to take a quick look on my vinyl record here. I don't have the nicest copy of it on vinyl, I'm not going to lie, but it does. It's quite nice. So yeah, it's still in shrink, if you can tell. So yeah, I really like the cover. We've got a little boy there who is actually embossed as well. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pick that up because it's not very good embossing because it's so old. Or it's tad old. We've still got a sticker on there, which says including the hit singles Pale Shelter, Mad World and Change. Also they got a nice little gold tint on the lettering. And there's the back. Tracks. And inside I believe anything else in here? No. So you just get the inner sleeve in there, which is nice. Picture of the awesome duo there. Not a great picture, but it looks like they're looking out on a nice English pond. Then you got all the lyrics on the back, in case you want to have a little sing-along. Let's have a look at the record. So yeah, really nice label. Pretty much the same on each side. So yeah, there we go. So anyway, I'm going to give the artwork a 6 out of 10. I like the cover, but it's still pretty plain, and the back cover does absolutely nothing really. You know, I mean, they could have put a nice picture of the band on the back really, but they thought, oh, we'll leave it plain white, why not? So anyway, I've added up all of those scores, so that's 10 tracks, 10 scores, plus the 11th for the album artwork. And this album out of 10 is going to get a 7.3. So let's head over to the album ranking board, put it on there, see where it ranks compared to other albums I've reviewed here on this channel. So yes, here we are over to the album ranking board, and of course you can see the hurting just around here, even though the picture has got very, very pixelated, on a 7.3. So you can see it's tied with two other albums, Queen, A Night at the Opera, and Eric Clapton's debut solo album. Now let's have a look at the albums it has beat on my list. So it's beat all of these albums here. If we scroll down a bit more, and a bit more, scroll down one more time. And of course there's nothing under these. Now let's have a quick look at the albums that have beaten it. So we got all these albums here. Scroll up a bit more, all of these. And then we go once more to my really good albums. So yeah. And so yes, that is it for this video, guys. As always, I hope you've enjoyed it. I really enjoy doing these album reviews. Guys. So please don't worry, they will be back. There'll be more coming. There's a lot that I want to do, of course. So yeah, please stay tuned. There'll be more coming, and of course there'll still be more videos on the channel and all that. But anyway, yes, in the description there is a link to my other channel. There is also a link to my Instagram and Twitter. And I'm also going to put a link to my friend Robert's channel down below as well, because for those of you who seen Infinity War, because I know this is completely unrelated to this video, but Infinity War just came out this week, and for those of you who are as hyped about it as I am, I'm going to be doing a live chat over on his channel tonight, just going into complete detail on that film. So if you're all hyped about Infinity War like I am at the minute, make sure you hit that link in the description and come and join us for our live chat. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it as always. Please hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a message, and I will see you guys next time for another video.